Today we're going to make some Victorian or Parisian wall moldings for 1/6 scale dioramas. Coming up after this. So I made these panels a few months ago, and I really love them, but there are some problems with them. They are really kind of a prototype. I pretty much love the bottom molding. I love the panels. I'm not so happy I just had these extra pieces of bamboo that I put up there. I thought it would match the floors, and my intention was to find some kind of things to put in the corner, but I think it would have been better if I put this kind of molding at the top. Also, the biggest problem with them is that they fall forward all the time, so you really kind of need to put something up against the wall or they fall over. So my idea is to make corner pieces, so if I put two of these together and then mold all of that perfectly, then I can use the corner for dioramas and pictures, and they're not going to fall over. They're just going to be a perfect right angle. So I have all the materials I need. I don't think I'm going to make the panels this small, even though I do love how that looks. I can save more time and space if I make two big ones instead. So what I use to make these are these wooden canvases, I guess that's what they call them, and they kind of look like television or movie sets, so it's actually kind of perfect. I tried to find some that had a texture inside because I like how that looks. It makes the walls look maybe a little dirty, a little older, a little Parisian. I picked all of this stuff up at the dollar store, which is the best. The Dollarama in Canada is an awesome store, even down to the clamps. I hope that they don't break. I have bought some tools before that weren't the best quality, but when I went to Walmart to find some clamps, they did have clamps like this, but they cost $7 a piece. These I got for $3 each. Actually, I think they were $9 because I remember that I could get 3 for the price of 1. So I'm gonna try these. I've, squeezed them and tested them a little bit, and I think they're gonna work. And I have my Gorilla Glue, which it says it's wood glue, so that should be perfect. That's the only thing I have to clamp. When I made these, I didn't clamp those down. I don't care if they are a little more elevated from the wood. You want as much dimension and texture as possible. And you could get more decorative, fancier things. I actually had some other sticks that I got, some bamboo sticks that had some patterns to them, but I didn't like how it made them look. I do prefer this style. I just like the simple. It's more masculine, it's more rugged, and it's like an old castle, and that's my dream home that I can't obtain. So I'm going to make it. To do the moldings, I'm going to use these coffee stir sticks. I made sure to get a full bag so that I wouldn't run out and I'd have enough. And I'm going to use these jumbo craft sticks as the base. I had used some kind of like plant labeling sticks before for the ones that I did before, so I don't know if they're as thick, but maybe that's a good thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down a full jumbo stick here, and then I'm going to add another layer of the stir stick, and then you can add even another layer on top of that. I think I'm probably going to add a chair rail in this time as well. And again, these are going to be bigger, but because it's an angle, it's really going to be 4, and I'm going to wrap around the molding. And I definitely want to keep these edges. Oh, and I think I'm going to put an edge around here too, so it's going to be pretty souped up. I love these cracks. I hope that something like that happens. I think the first step might be to move some of this stuff out of the way. See, that's the problem. They fall over all the time. I am taking off part of this wall, but I am also adding a molding on this side. So I think it is going to balance out the size of the panels in between. So I guess I'm just going to jump into it and do it. So I'm just going to put a bead of glue on here. And maybe I should hammer it. I do have some nails standing by, and I should probably also get a damp cloth. It's kind of late at night, so I don't know if I want to be hammering. I'm just going to do this. Take one of these clamps. I haven't clamped wood together in many years. I always think that glue is overkill and more of a just a nail or screw together. I'm not so sure about dollar store clamps, but they gotta be better than nothing. The best part about my aesthetic is that it is really rudimentary and rustic, so I can just embrace that. So far so good. We'll get a couple nails and try. I am a little worried about splitting the wood. Guess I'm gonna give it a whirl. Oh! I broke the clamp. The thing about dollar stores is you really have to be careful about what you choose. It's like finding a diamond in the rough, and I kinda knew that that was something that I gave it a go. This is my lesson. Never a tool again unless it's a brand name tool. It's too noisy. I'm gonna wait. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to measure and plan out where the things are gonna go. So I'm gonna need some time to plan it all out, and I'm just gonna draw it on with a pencil and we'll see what I come up with. So I've mapped out the wainscoting and the wall molding. I think you can see where I'm going to do it. I got a 3 centimeter all the way around. Like the last time, I did base it on 3 centimeters everywhere, and I liked it. So that is the spacing for what I did. 3 centimeter border, 3 centimeter between everything. And that is where I'm going to lay on the sticks. Now, if you wanted to paint this, I've actually seen it in real life where people have loosely taken a black paintbrush and painted out the molding details just on the wall, and it looked really cool. So you could definitely do that, or just draw it on, whatever you want to do. But I am going to build up the sticks, and I've also realized that I'm going to use a third type of stick, because I am going to do some layering. I got the big stick, and because they weren't as thick as I wanted them to, I'm going to put another stick like this, but I'm probably going to build that up and put another stick on top of that. And then I have a popsicle stick, and that is what I'm going to use for the width of the chair rail. And I'm also going to stick that down at the bottom of the baseboard. And I'm going to keep layering, and I guess I'll show you as I go where I'm going to build it up. You do have to cut all of the little ends off the edge. I have already started cutting some of these, and I am going to use diagonal edges. You could butt against each other, but I think it's going to look better if I do use those right angles. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to start by going all the way around. I don't even have to measure over here now for that part, because I was measuring to see if it would all look okay. Oh yeah, and that is why I had this doll here, to see if the chair rail and everything was in the right scale and everything. And I did Google how high a chair rail should be, and it said something like 30 to 36 inches. I just divided that by 6 because it's 1/6 scale, and I think it's falling in a pretty good place. And I like the little one, the big, yeah, it's looking good. And I'm just gonna glue these on. Yeah, that's the next step. Okay, I have the first piece of trim going around, and I'm starting putting in this other trim to make it a little thicker. And I'm not really sure how I'm going to layer it yet, but I am going to do lots of layering, and I haven't taken it over to the other side. I'm not going to put a trim down this side, it's just going to go off the edge, because we don't need it to do that. But I'm excited to see what it's going to look like when it's finished, so I am going to do one side first, but normally I would just do everything at the same time and cut the sticks first. But I think actually cutting the sticks to fit as you go is probably the best bet. Okay, it's coming along. It's got like one dimension. So before I can do the other dimensions, before I can like layer it up with an extra in the middle smaller stick there, for example, it's subtle, but first you have to have all of the first layer on before you can put on the other layer so you can put the angles in correctly. Now when I'm putting these on, I'm cutting these on a 90-degree angle, is that right? And I didn't have like a protractor or one of those triangular things. So what I thought to do was I made a perfect square, folded it in half, and then I've been putting the stick in there, and then I have my guideline to cut it on. So that's how I've been making the right angle, pun intended. So yeah, and I like it. It's not too big. The scale's okay. If I put in some furniture, you can see it's probably even is better than the smaller ones that I had before, because that looks real. It's looking real good. So now I finish up the sides, and then I do the layering of the wood grain that you can see. It just makes it look like a stained old French wall. This is going to be the best. And then I'll have a corner, and then I'll have layered sides. It's going to be so cool. Okay, it's looking really good. It's taking me a long time though. But on this side you can see I put like a little wraparound edge so that it could be for around a corner if I want, so I can use it like this side, or I can use it like this side with another wall behind it, or like what I had there before. But I still have to do more details in the molding. So now that it's 2-dimension, you can see I did the chair rail. So the chair rail's a 3-dimension. So I'm just going to do that up here and around here. And let's continue on. I've been up all night and all day. It took some hours to make this, I guess, but as you can see, it has all of the layers, and I guess you can see it over here. I'm not sure if I did this part correctly. I mean, I'm sure it'll make a fine wall like that, but I do prefer, I think, the wall where you can see the molding wrap around. See how that is? But I guess I do have that option for both. That's more like a front wide archway. Yeah, no, that looks good too. I can just switch it for different choices. I hope you can see what I'm talking about. I like that edge, and then that's a different edge. And the one mistake that I think I made is that these are very textured and very colored. And then the one that's going to be on the other side, I only have these more plainer ones, so it might be a stark contrast, but I don't know. I'll make sure that I use different colored wood grains in here. See how some of that is different? I like that. I like how it's rudimentary, but yeah, that's my Parisian Victorian mansion I get to live in now. I'm so happy because it's my dream home, but it's like restoration hardware. Alright, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Love you so much. We'll see you next time. I guess I'm gonna make the other one off camera. That motorcycle fell over in the back. It's nice. I guess the next video will be how to make this furniture, this transformable, different pieces of furniture. I do want to make a glass one. I have some glass doored ones that I want to make a hutch out of that matches that part too. I could live there. Could you live there?